Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Ian, and welcome to another Minecraft Mod Spotlight. Today I'm going to be reviewing the More Swords pack for Minecraft 1.5.2. In this mod, it adds 14 new unique swords and 10 items to your Minecraft game. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so I'm going to take you guys over to the first chest of this huge lineup of chests with different items inside. I'll show you guys how to craft the different stones first. So if you take blaze powders all the way around and a diamond in the middle, you're going to get the firestone. And if you get a ender pearl dust all the way around and a diamond in the middle, you're going to get the ender stone. Now to create ender pearl dust, you have to get an ender pearl, which is going to create 3 ender pearl dust. So then when you use that, you're going to get the ender stone. So if you use all ender stones all the way around and a block of diamond in the middle, that's going to give you an ender stone gem. So there's stones, gems, and with those you're going to be able to craft the different swords that I'll show you in a little bit. Okay, so let's move over here. I'll show you guys the build for a ender rod, which is going to let you, I think, craft the ender stone sword, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure. I'll show you guys in a second. But if you take ender pearl dust all the way around and a blaze rod in the middle, that's going to give you an ender rod. Now if you cook a cobalt ore, which is going to be all over your world while mining when you have this mod on, if you cook that in a furnace, that's going to make a cobalt ingot. Now if you get enough cobalt ingots and put it in this formation with a block of diamond in the middle, you're going to get a cobalt gem. So let's move over here now to the next chest. I'll show you guys the different ingot variants that are in this mod. So if you get a lapis lazuli block, cook it in a furnace, you're going to get the lapis lazuli ingot. Same thing with the redstone. So if you get a redstone block and cook it, you're going to get a redstone ingot. And if you take a glowstone block and cook it, you're going to get the glowstone ingot. Alright, so that is pretty much all the gems, ingots, and stones. Let's move over to the swords now. So there's about 14 different swords in this game. A lot of them are pretty interesting. Some of them are unique. Some of them are really good. And I'll show you guys the first kind of swords. So you got the food variant kind of sword. So you got the raw chickens, or you got the chicken sword. So if you get 2 raw chickens and a stick, that's going to give you the chicken sword. And the chicken sword deals 1 damage, reduces 4 hunger, and has a 30-second resistant effect. So let's move over here. If you take 2 raw beef and a stick, that's going to give you the beef sword. Now the beef sword deals 1 damage, reduces 4 hunger, and has a 30-second strength effect. So it's a little bit different than the chicken sword. Now the raw pork chop, if you get 2 raw pork chops, a stick, it's going to give you the pork sword. And the pork sword, let me see right here, okay, deals 1 damage, reduces 4 hunger, and has a 30-second regeneration effect. So it's slightly different. The damage and the hunger is the same, but has a little bit of a different effect. So this one has regeneration, this one has strength, and this one has resistance. Okay, so the redstone sword. So you have 2 redstone ingots, a stick. It's going to give you the redstone sword. Now the redstone sword deals 10 damage and is able to be used 4,000 times. So it has 4,000 uses. Okay, so let's move over to this chest now. If you take 2 ender stones and a ender rod, which I showed you back there how to craft, it's going to give you the ender stone sword. Now the ender stone sword deals 14 damage and has 4,000 uses. Okay, so if you take 2 cobalt ingots, a stick, you're going to get the cobalt sword. Now the cobalt sword deals 6 damage and has 800 uses. So let's go over to this interesting sword, which is the frozen sword. If you take 4 ices and 2 diamonds in the middle, you're going to get the frozen sword. Now let me just put over here. Now the frozen sword deals 8 damage, has 1,000 uses, and if you right click, it's actually going to create a ice block just like this. So, and then you can kind of like create your own like little stairs if you want to. Maybe if you're in like a tough like area, say you need to like get out of a cave or something like that, like you're getting trapped by mobs and stuff, and then you don't have any more cobblestone. Well, if you have a frozen sword, you can like get your way out. You know, you can just like climb to the top. Like let's do it. No, for some reason it doesn't wanna. There you go. Yeah, you can kind of. I guess you can't stack them, but you can kind of just like put them next to each other, or kind of make like stairs. Yeah, pretty much that's what you can do. Pretty interesting kind of sword. Alright, let's put that back. Alright, and another interesting kind of sword is the Sword of Time. This is actually a pretty expensive sword to make, so if you have 2 clocks, a diamond sword in the middle, 2 firestone gems, 2 cobalt gems, and 2 enderstone gems, it's going to give you the Sword of Time. Now, let's set it to, I'm going to set the time to night and show you guys exactly how that works. Alright, here. Time set to night. So as you can guys see, it's nighttime, and if you right click with the Sword of Time, bam, look at that, it's daytime. You see the sun just rose like instantly. So that's a pretty cool thing. If you just wanna, if you don't have a bed or something like that, then you could use that. Pretty cool, interesting sword. Alright, moving on. Let's show you guys the emerald sword. If you have 2 emeralds and a stick, that is going to give you the emerald sword, obviously, which deals 6 damage and has 3,000 uses. So it's actually, I think, a little bit stronger than the diamond sword. I think the diamond sword has a little bit less uses, but I'm not entirely sure. As far as damage, I think it's the same. Don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure. But alright, moving on. The Firestone Sword. So if you have 2 Firestones and a Blaze Rod, you're going to get the Firestone Sword. And the Firestone Sword deals 10 damage and has 4,000 uses. Okay, so there's the Lapis Lazuli Sword, which is 2 ingots and a stick. It's going to give you the Lapis Lazuli Sword, which deals 4 damage and only has about 500 uses. So that's actually pretty bad. That probably makes this the worst sword out of all these unique swords. So I don't know why Lapis Lazuli is always like really bad. Like, I don't know. I always find that kind of weird. Lapis Lazuli is like the worst element to get. But anyways, and we also have the Earth Sword, which is very similar to the Frozen Sword. So you have 4 dirt, 2 cobalt gems, and a stick. And just like the Frozen Sword, it is going to create like earth blocks, so you can stack them and you know, kind of get yourself out of trouble. Make like a little staircase or something like that. Anyways, same thing as the Frozen Sword. Pretty cool. Okay, so we do have 2 more swords, which are, I think the last one's the best, but yeah, so we have a Glowstone Sword, which is 2 glowstones and a stick. It's going to give you the Glowstone Sword, and the Glowstone Sword deals 4 damage and has 500 uses, so it's not that good. And last but definitely not least is the Ultimate Sword. So this is pretty expensive. You have 3 diamond swords down the middle, 3 firestone gems, and 3 cobalt gems. Gives you the Ultimate Sword, and the Ultimate Sword deals 30 damage, which is crazy, and it has 4,000 uses, so it lasts so long, which makes this sword crazy good, and I definitely would recommend using it if you could pretty much have the materials to craft it, which is going to take a long time to get all these materials, not going to lie, if you're doing it like legit. But yeah, so those were pretty much every single sword. There's one more thing I'd like to mention. I have a enchanting table over here. I would like to mention that you can also enchant these swords to make them even better than they already are. I know my level is like pretty low, so I know you're not going to get the best enchantment at Sharpness 1, but I just like to show you guys that on top of these amazing abilities, you can also enchant these swords, making them 10 times better than they already are, depending on your level. So anyways, guys, I think that's about it. This has been the More Swords pack for Minecraft 1.5.2. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. I'm Ian, and until next time, later.